Welcome to the second day of June and our first government affairs, well, the only government affairs meeting for the month. We'll go ahead and do introductions. I'm Diana Batista with Liesl Packard Children's Hospital Stanford and chair of this committee, and popcorn style, so get ready. Just name and company. We'll go with Abby. Oh, I mean, you are all muted, so remember to unmute yourselves.
Maybe I can unmute everyone.
Oh, I think so. Wow. There we go. Okay. So Abby Aaron's Ashante Boutique Hotel, downtown Los Altos.
Thank you. Kathy.
Kathy Kameen, Los Altos Community Foundation.
Hey. Rashad.
Rashad Wiley, Star Run Credit Union, and also Chamber Board member.
Council member.
Jonathan Weinberg, Los Altos City Council.
Isabel.
Hi everyone, Isabel LaSalle with the Office of Assemblymember Mark Berman.
Scott.
All right, hi, Scott Hunter, Los Altos Village Association.
Ellen.
Ellen BLC, I own Cranberry Scoop in downtown Los Altos.
Thank you. And we are Kim, introduce yourself.
Sure, Kim Mosley, president of Los Altos Chamber of Commerce.
Michael.
Michael Murphy, Rolfer, Los Altos.
Oscar.
Hello, everyone. Oscar Garcia, helping out with membership at the Chamber.
Awesome. Lelan.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. I'm Lelan Anders with NOVAworks, located in Sunnyvale and San Mateo.
All right. And before they get started, I just wanted to say welcome again to everyone. I'm super excited to bring NOVAworks to today's meeting. I'm a big fan. They do such an amazing job in the community, but I'm going to stop there because I think no one else can talk more about them than Lelan. So go for it.
Okay, thank you so much, and thank you for having me at the meeting this morning. I'm looking forward to telling you a little bit about the services that we offer at NOVAworks, both for the job seeker community as well as our business community. And we'll talk a little bit about an exciting initiative that is coming up as well around skills-based hiring. So I'll go ahead and kick it off here, see if I can share my screen. Nope, it's Kim, can you enable screen sharing? Yep, okay, co-host, all right.
Got it?
That did it, yep, that did it. Okay, terrific. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my PowerPoint with you. And Kim, do you want to kind of just keep me on track in terms of time? I want to check in on time. So we'll try to limit the PowerPoint, I think, to, well, talking about NOVAworks services for maybe 20 minutes or so. And then we can go into the skills-based hiring initiative and talk a little bit about what that's about.
Okay.
So I will start here. So who are we? So NOVAworks is one of 45 workforce boards in the state of California. There are about 2,000 of us across the country. And we are federally funded, and essentially our mandate is to deliver workforce services in our local region. We've been around since 1983, so we've been around a long time. And our NOVA's region is all of San Mateo County and then the northern part of Santa Clara County. We have two actual physical job centers. One, our main one is in Sunnyvale, and the other one is located in San Mateo on Burrell Avenue. As I mentioned, our core funding is provided by the federal government. It's the Workforce Innovation and Opportunities Act that provides the funding to all of the workforce boards across the country. And that is funneled to us through the state. We partner with economic development departments throughout NOVA's region. Chambers of commerce, we belong to 10 different chambers of commerce throughout our region, including Los Altos, which is very awesome. And we partner with a lot of other agencies that deliver services to both job seekers and to the business community. So EDD is an example, Department of Rehab is another one, post-secondary education in the form of adult education and community colleges and universities like UCSC Extension or University of Santa Cruz, San Jose State, etc. And then we work with a lot of different community-based organizations. So on our job seeker services side, we are, I think, a little unique in that our service delivery is very customer focused in the sense that we make our services available to job seekers to basically take advantage of as they see fit. So we don't have a program where you need to take certain types of services before you take the next kinds of services. It's really we're offering a wide array of services to our customers, and they decide what they need and take advantage of those services. So the first thing is we're providing one-on-one career advising. So we have this fantastic team of career advisors who are really tuned into the local job market, and we're talking with businesses all the time to understand what's new in the form of job seeking. What do our job seekers need to know in order to be effective in today's job market, and that can change on a day-to-day basis. So, and then in addition to the one-on-one career advising, we're also providing job search workshops that can go from an hour to 3 hours long. We're trying to make them shorter with doing everything virtual right now. So we've broke them all down, but we offer more than 20 different workshops where we're really going in depth into the subject matter, whether it's a resume, understanding how to create a resume that's going to be effective for that specific person, how to customize resumes for the jobs you're applying for, how to interview well, how to practice, how to even how to prepare for a technical interview where you're going to have to do some whiteboarding in that interview. So we actually have a workshop specifically for that. We utilize comprehensive assessments and really help people understand what those assessments mean for them as they figure out what are they bringing to the table and what are they, what kinds of work environments and skills do they want to be using. And then we have a great relationship with LinkedIn. We offer some really excellent workshops on how to create a LinkedIn profile and then how to effectively use it in a job search. We're constantly gathering sector intelligence to be able to share that with our customers, both in the one-on-one appointments as well as in our workshops. And then in Sunnyvale, we have this career networking program, which is amazing. We've had this for a long time. It's called ProMatch. And essentially, this is a member-driven program where members are providing sort of peer-to-peer support. They're offering each other leads, job leads that they find out about. And what we find out is that customers who join ProMatch feel like their sense of self-worth and self-esteem skyrocket as they're providing support to one another, because they're getting it completely in touch again with the skill sets that they have. People tend to be really demoralized when they've lost a job, even if it has nothing to do with them, it was just the circumstances at the company. There's a definite loss of self-esteem, and it can be a struggle sometimes to identify what is your value add. So ProMatch really assists with that. And then in addition to all of those services, we also have funding and training options for individuals so that they can upskill to help them be more competitive returning to the job. And all of these services are at no cost. in addition to just all of those in-person or I should say person-to-person services, whether it's one-to-one or in a workshop, we also have this online tool that anybody can access. So, and actually I'm going to click on it, but I'm not sure it's going to work. Oh, it did. Fantastic. Can you all see the web page that I have open? No? Okay, I may have to do a new share.
I can paste the link into the chat.
Let me try this. Can you all see that now? Oh no, that's the, okay, I'll just stop sharing and open up. Here we go. This ought to work. Okay.
There you go.
Great. So this is our web portal. We call it My Plan, and so everything that we do in our one-on-one with job seekers and in our workshops is all about assisting individuals with their job search plan, identifying and putting together a job search plan, and then being able to actually implement that to help them work, find their job. So we've broken everything out into the different aspects of the job search, starting with focus, then resume application, job searching and networking, interviewing, and then how do you negotiate job offers. So starting with focus, you'll see that we have a lot of different tools for an individual who's just maybe getting started. Somebody who's just getting started with their job search. So from lots of organizational tools to kind of keep you on track, we've got this terrific checklist to really help people understand all the different aspects of what they're going to need to do in order to go through their job search. So it's really figuring out all the different things and then helping them move forward. So all of this is available for downloading. And click back. We have information on how to handle change. So, there's a loss and all of the different emotions that go through when somebody's loss of job. So that is here to help kind of normalize the process. And then we have a ton of career assessments that people can take online for free. So these are terrific. And has anybody ever taken the MBTI personality test? It's a very common, it's the Myers-Briggs type indicator test. And if you normally, if you were going to take that, it would cost you a couple $100 typically to take that test. And there's something like it that's available online for free. And it's really great because it gives you, there are 16 different personality types. It gives somebody an idea of what their personality type is in relation to the other 15. And it helps you understand, your communication style and the fact that not everybody has your communication style. So being able to work with other people and be effective in adjusting, being able to adjust for the needs of people working around you. And then we have lots of information around career exploration. So if you're interested in looking at making a career change, we have the tools and resources here to help somebody make an effective decision for themselves. Going into resume and applications, we have tons of resources here in how to customize resumes, all the different parts of a resume. We provide examples so people can see examples of the chronological and functional resumes. All of these, again, can be downloaded and utilized, and they're really great. I would also mention there's in the resume or master resume worksheet, really helping people understand how to put together a master resume so that they have everything in one place that they can pick and choose from as they're putting together a resume for a specific job opening. Okay. And then in the job search process, how do you find the jobs. So we know there's a visible job market and there's a hidden job market. So using the different tools to target companies, we have different strategies for doing that. And then, excuse me, I'm in the wrong place. How do you network with people? Lots of good content here for effective networking. And again, we have a packet that people can download to help them with that. And using social media. So kind of going back to what we were saying about, helping people with LinkedIn, we've got a lot of really good information here. And then when it comes to actual interviewing, it's just tons and tons of information to help people with preparing for the interview. So all the different techniques that people need to be aware of, how to prepare for technical interviews, lots of really good content. So that is my plan.
Hey, Lelan.
Yeah.
Really quick question. How did NOVAworks kind of tweak it for the pandemic world? Like when the networking and the step-by-steps, and because normally it's all in person and you're talking and you're coming up with your questions, but how do you access the people like during the, I mean, we're kind of exiting the pandemic, and God forbid another one comes into our timeline. But how did you tweak it during the pandemic?
Well, normally these workshops and the career advising was done in person. So prior to the pandemic, we didn't do anything remotely, but with the pandemic, everything was modified. So all the phone calls or all of the one-on-one appointments that we do for job seekers are done either via phone or Zoom. We prefer Zoom because then we have that face-to-face connection with people, and we can show them our screens. So we can work on resumes together remotely through Zoom. We can interview prep and do mock interviews that way. It's been great. And we've converted all of our workshops to Zoom. So we used to have, in some of our workshops were 3 hours long when they were done in person. We knew that people couldn't, maintain a 3 hour, attention span. And it's really hard. You have to get up and whatnot. So we changed everything and brought it down to 1 hour or 1.5 hour workshops that we made available on Zoom. And then we created some materials to really help people with how do you interview on Zoom. So we've got some special workshops for that. We've figured out how to use Zoom and things like whiteboarding, right, to be able to do like the technical interview. And so we've done a lot to make it work. And
include
our
angles,
customers
like what angle works best for the person, like
yeah, angle, lighting, exactly, movement, just there's a lot. And I was going to say, I lost my train of thought. That's okay. It'll come back. Oh, I was going to say that our customers like it so much that we've been polling our customers to ask them. So, once we're able to reopen, what services would you come in for? And many of them are saying none. we love remote. We love the remote career advising. We love the remote workshops. I don't want to have to drive 45 minutes to come to you. So we're going to maintain, we're going to have a hybrid. So we expect to reopen in July, and we'll have appointment only career advising and works. We're not going to open up workshops just yet, but we know that there are customers out there that don't have access to the internet or computers, etc., to be able to access all of this online. So we want those customers to be able to come in and be able to use our computers and be able to meet with us one-on-one, so we can assist them that way. So that'll be coming in the month of July. So that was a quick, summary of the services that we offer our job seekers, and a display of my plan. I'm going to go back to our PowerPoint, and I'll talk a little bit about what we do with our businesses, what kinds of services we offer to our business community. So let me pull up my PowerPoint again.
And while you're pulling that up, I'm just going to say, like, what I love about NOVAworks is, and I think if anyone knows anyone who's been job searching, it is, you're falling down a well. You're on Indeed, you're on all these different websites looking for something and kind of navigate the sea of links. And NOVAworks just really helps that individual from start to finish. And it's, so you're not alone out there. So here we go.
Thank you, Diana. Appreciate the plug. And that's really the idea, is that we want to be a support because job search is hard. No matter what the circumstances of somebody's job search, job searching is really hard to do. And so we're here to provide support from the beginning to the end. All right, so for business services, we do a number of things. So we do provide talent recruitment. So we can pre-screen candidates, and we do have an online job board. Because of the pandemic, the pool of our candidates has shrunk quite a bit. So we typically would have anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 customers working with NOVAworks on any given day. And that's dropped down to about 1,000 customers because of the pandemic. We also do virtual employer spotlights and industry panels. So this has been really exciting with the pandemic because we can actually reach out to more of our job seekers this way, where we have an employer that maybe, they're kind of talking a little bit about their company and the kinds of talent opportunities that they have, what kinds of skills they're looking for. And there can be some question and answers on the part of the job seekers that are on that virtual event. And they've been super popular. Our employers have been really appreciative of being able to have these kinds of spotlights. It's not necessarily a recruitment, but it's a way for employers to say, hey, if you're interested in these kinds of positions, then please apply. Here's how to apply. Go onto our website and apply for those jobs. So that's been great. And then we've been really enjoying industry panels too, where we're talking about, what's the trends going on in this industry, and again, what are these companies? What should the job seeker know about these kinds of jobs? What's hot? What are some pet peeves of hiring managers? What are they, and how can job seekers connect to those employers, and how can they put their best foot forward? So it's coming, that kind of information is coming directly from the business community, as opposed to a career advisor who has a little less credibility than the actual business. We also can provide referrals to different community resources. So if a business is looking to retrain their workforce, they want to know, where are classes available, either at no cost or low cost. We can provide referrals to those. And then if we don't have the talent pool within Nova's pool of customers, there may be other workforce areas that might. So making connections with those other workforce areas. And then of course, pre-layoff and outplacement assistance. So as an employer is laying off, we get notified of those layoffs if the business has more than 50 employees and they are in our local area. We will get notifications of those, and then we will immediately reach out to that business to provide resources to those job seekers. And what we would like to do is presentations to those job seekers along with EDD, so that those individuals know how they can apply for unemployment insurance, how to avoid any pitfalls, mistakes with that, as well as learn about the services that they can access through NOVA at no cost. So we, in addition to providing all of those services, we also have been involved in a number of different industry-driven initiatives over the last couple of years. So we've been working very closely with FlySFO to assist with all of the layoffs that have been occurring and furloughs at the airport. And then also, we had a hospitality support services project working with Local 19 in Santa Clara County and working partnerships to provide actual assistance for things like utilities and rent, internet, whatever it might be, to help individuals through the pandemic. And we served about, I think when it was all said and done, about 450 individuals with support services and working with working partnerships. So that was really great. And then we'll talk a little bit about the skills-based hiring initiative, which is called Skillful in a little bit. We've also done work around tech apprenticeships. So there's we've worked with San Francisco, Work to Future, and Apprenticeship Bay Area to really increase the number of tech and high skill apprenticeship programs in our region. So we know that apprenticeships is really a great way for employers to get the help they need when there's, and then the job seeker, for the job seekers to really learn on the job. So that's been really important. And then we also participated in the Vehicle to Grid Green Jobs project as well, where we were partnering with the California Energy Commission. And the initiative was really to design, test, and deploy electric buses at the VTA. And then we've been involved in the Amazon Web Services Certificate Partnership with the Bay Area community colleges. And then we're always involved in the Construction Trades Initiative as well to help with recruiting individuals to the top and the tip programs in Santa Clara County and San Mateo County to help individuals learn about the trades. And when they go through these kind of pre-apprenticeship program, they're in a position to actually kind of go to the front of the line when they're applying for different apprenticeship programs. So these are just some customer testimonials from a job seeker and from a business that has worked with us. We are known as kind of a best kept secret in the Bay Area for both job seekers and our business community. And that's one reason why I'm thrilled to be here today, so I can talk a little bit about the services that we offer. So people that work with us are generally, really, really pleased with all of our services. And these are our two locations, one in Sunnyvale and one in San Mateo. And this is where, if there are any questions about Nova services, I'm happy to answer them here before we move on to talk a little bit about Skillful and the skills-based hiring initiative.
Scott.
Excuse me. I wanted to also throw props to NOVAworks. Back in the last recession, I found myself laid off, and I took part in ProMatch, and I can probably draw a direct line to things that I learned in ProMatch to the job I have today. Mostly around networking. Back then it was about networking to find a job, but the idea of networking in business, we should all be doing that anyway. There's still an opportunity to pass business between everybody here. And as I said, that was a big part of, as I said, where I am today. So it is a big deal, and I'm glad to see that they're still doing that. My question, I guess I'll take from what Diana asked earlier, especially around the pandemic, is, ProMatch really was about networking and being together and such. And so how has ProMatch done during this, the pandemic?
Thank you, Scott. Well, I'm thrilled to know that that you actually utilized ProMatch to really positive effects. So that's great. We have also struggled with membership because of the pandemic. So normally we like to see about 120 to 180 customers accessing ProMatch at a given time. And we're seeing much smaller numbers as a result of the pandemic, but we also converted everything virtual. So as you're right, it was prior to the pandemic, it was all about people getting together in the same room, meeting with one another, and handing each other resumes and talking through. And providing resources and sharing information. They have actually successfully been able to do that virtually. And in some ways it's been easier to kind of meet up through on Zoom. But the biggest issue that we've had really is just that less individuals have been job searching, or at least coming to us to get assistance with their job search. And it has meant that there's less of a network because we have far fewer customers participating in the ProMesh program. So yeah, that's another reason why we want to be doing outreach to let people know that this is a great resource to them.
Hi, I'm Abby. I have to admit, you are the best kept secret. I have a hotel and I've never heard of you. Yeah, right. So I think kind of, Los Altos is a community of small businesses. And while I'm hearing how you help the big business community, how do you step in for small businesses? Question one. Question two, with the extra money being paid as part of unemployment, restaurants are desperate, hotels are desperate, retail is desperate. How are you helping us? So if you'd kind of maybe share your thoughts of, is the state going to make some changes to overpaying on unemployment or forcing people to actually seek employment? That's one. And two, how do you get to the, small business is actually larger than big business. And how do you get to us? And thank you, Chamber, for doing this so much.
Well, those are great questions, Abby. So, and you're right. We did a survey to understand how many businesses in San Mateo County and Santa Clara County are small businesses with less than 10 employees, and it was I think it was 88% in San Mateo, and I think it was pretty close to that in Santa Clara County as well. So we know that so many businesses are smaller. We do so. The active recruitments is one way we're helping with that talent recruitment. So the job board is one of the things that you can post for free on the Nova job board, and that's available to our job seekers as well as to the general public. We only post jobs that pay $18 or more on the Nova job board. So that was a decision that we made years ago, that we're really trying to promote jobs that are moving towards a living wage in our local area, which can be tough. We can also get the word out about your jobs to our career advisors, and then they're sharing those with our customers. We can do employer spotlight, so a virtual event that job seekers could attend to learn more about your company and the kinds of jobs you are hiring for, and best practices. So what are you looking for in candidates? And we do active recruitments, meaning you give us the job posting, we will put that out there to our candidate. We'll send that out to all of our customers, and then we'll screen resumes and make sure those customers meet your minimum requirements, and then we'll send those to you. So those are some different ways that we can assist you. We're also letting you know about the different resources that are available to you in terms of with COVID, like all of the different loan programs. So we've got somebody who's trying to get into the meeting here. Those are a variety of ways. And then again, if you're looking for, if you've got a need to maybe you've got an employee already that you're looking to get some training for them, giving those resources to you to help with that.
Well, I don't mean to be negative, but all of what you're saying sounds upper end. How about the cooks in the kitchen, the servers in the restaurant? How about the housekeepers? How about people in retail who are not sophisticated enough. How are you getting them connected to us? And I want to make one comment about your $18 an hour. Los Altos is an incredibly generous community. Tips here are at the top rather than the bottom. And I have had weeks where a server making minimum Los Altos wage makes more money than my general manager because of tips. And so unfortunately, it sounds to me like that's an entire group that you have cut out of serving, because we're not paying them $18 an hour and they're making more than 100,000 a year. So because of tips.
Well, I think that's where there might be an opportunity to do some type of employer spotlight, so because that, and I would like to talk to you more about that, because there is a sense or maybe a lack of awareness that kind of a job would lead to sufficient wages. So I'd like to talk with you more about that. Maybe we can connect offline. But I think, one of the challenges are that we're not seeing the job seekers from the service and hospitality industry coming through our doors. We were expecting that to happen, and we've been doing a lot of outreach, but we're not seeing that happen, and we're not sure if that's entirely because of the unemployment insurance benefits, or people are just kind of reassessing if it's childcare related. But that's been our struggle. So, and you're not alone, Abby. We're hearing from, across our entire region, employers are all suffering in the same way. We don't have a solution, unfortunately.
Yeah, this could easily become a nice political discussion, because we all have an opinion on this, and we all may have an opinion on minimum wage. So we lost our state representative contact. Isabel left the room. So, but this is something that, as we all represent different businesses, it's definitely an issue, and in a community where the gap tends to widen more and more, it's something that we're always trying to be aware of. But we have 20 minutes left. Lelan, do you want to move to the second portion of your presentation?
Yes, thank you. And I just put my email address in the chat. So if anybody would like to connect with me outside of this meeting, that would be great. I'd love to talk with you. And I will go ahead and get started with my skillful. So this is the initiative that I was mentioning. It's a skills-based hiring initiative, and it's basically we have a special grant that is enabling us to work with San Francisco and Work the Future. They're the two local workforce areas neighboring NOVA. And what we're doing is we're identifying 25 individuals within the business community from economic development and chambers of commerce who would be available to learn the curriculum around skills-based hiring, and then essentially share that with their local business communities to provide that training to the local businesses. The training to the businesses is done over 2 half days. And the idea is to move away from pedigree-based hiring, which is the most typical hiring that we do. That's the kind of jobs postings that I've always worked with, and what we typically see in the Bay Area, which is you need to have a bachelor's degree or a certification or an AA in something, and you need to have direct experience in a very similar type of job. That's considered a pedigree type job posting. Whereas a skills-based job posting is really dissecting the skills needed for a particular job, and then writing job posting for those skills. And so it's not about the degree or the certification or even having experience in that same type of job. because people can pick up that skill in other ways and other kinds of positions. So it's looking at how you change your job posting and the language so that it's more inclusive, and then looking at how you assess that talent, how you onboard that talent and provide them with the training they need that again is focused on those skills, and how do you retain talent. So I've gone through the training that was provided to a number of businesses in Boulder, Colorado, just last month, and I was really, really impressed. The amount of information and the tools used to really help businesses convert a traditional resume over to a skills-based resume was fantastic. And then how do you prepare for all of those different steps for assessing somebody's skills, onboarding that talent, and retaining them. So actually, this is the invitation that really speaks to what this is talking about. So we're really trying to help. This was developed by the Marco Foundation, and it is this curriculum that essentially empowers employers to find the best talent without overlooking job seekers that don't have formal degrees and credentials. So this is, the idea is that it's really supporting employers that are, trying to also advance equity and diversity and inclusion goals for themselves. And the idea is that you become a trainer, and now you have the resources to be able to train other businesses. So the idea is it's a little like ProMatch, where for the business community, and that's why we're reaching out to all of you. The timeline essentially is as we're identifying trainers or trainees in the month of July, they would observe the training actually being delivered to businesses, and the training is being conducted by Dr. Jesse Roller, who provided that training in Boulder as well. And then we're putting together a website and marketing materials that would be available to, let's say, for example, if somebody from Los Altos were to go through this training, Los Altos Chamber, then all those materials would be available to market to chamber members. And the actual training is going to occur over 4 full days, starting in August, ending in October. And then at some point later in October, Dr. Jesse Roller will also do another training to businesses that all of our trainees will be able to watch. And at that point, we'll all be starting the process of delivering that training. And the hope is that across the 25 trainers, there'll be something being delivered to a business community throughout the Bay Area each month over the course of the next year. So that's the grant's goal. This is a little bit about Skillful, and there's some information about the Boulder Chamber because this was launched there. But this is what the Talent Series workshop looks like. So the first half day of training is really talking about how do you attract the right talent for the skills that you need candidates to have. How do you evaluate that talent? And then the second day is really talking about selection and onboarding and employee retention. Let me I'll go down to, where'd it go? Here we go. So here's skills-based screening. How is it different? And so your traditional, actually, this is not where I wanted to find, sorry. Let me stop sharing here. What I wanted to show you was the kind of a sample resume, so you can just see how different that is, but I might not have that available. That's okay. So any questions about Skillful and skills-based hiring? And if that's, I guess what I'm interested in knowing is if that sounds interesting to any of you? And as business owners, do you see that as something that would be possibly helpful?
I think so. Question, Lelan, do government do municipalities ever use this program? Because I can see city government really utilizing this to help them out in their job searches. Or is it all just private nonprofits?
Well, right now we're focusing on reaching out to our local business communities. But when I went through the training, I thought, oh my gosh, our own city could really benefit from converting all of its job postings from the traditional pedigree-based job posting to skills-based job posting. So I would imagine, if we're going to start looking at that. That's a conversation I'll need to have with our HR department and have them go through the training as well. But I think it's something that really, that's where we all need to go, is to a skills-based hiring, so that we're moving away from that pedigree and requirement for degrees, because we know that a degree doesn't necessarily, we assume so much in a degree. We assume that somebody's going to have the skills. We assume that if somebody's done a similar type job in the past, that they're going to have the skills. And we can't really assume that that's true. We know that it's not true, because how many of us have had really bad hires after we got a great resume and we had a great interview and we hired the person, and it turned out they didn't have the skill sets that we needed. I mean, that's happened to me multiple times.
Yeah, and with the competitive market that we're in, I mean, if I was looking at a job posting for my kind of job that I'm in right now, to make it more competitive, they're looking for a JD. I don't have a JD. I have like 18 years of experience, but if they want someone with a JD, they're not going to look at me, even though I have what they're looking for. So it's just really crazy, the market. So it's just interesting. So I think this is very useful.
Yeah, and that's the whole point, is that we're excluding a ton of talent based on that requirement.
Hi, this is Rashad. Going back to the beginning when you said that you had mentioned that we do Nova does personality tests. Mm-hmm. I think that's fascinating. What it is when people go through that process or take the test, I guess for one, they kind of respond to it, and how's that data used to help them?
We lost you, Rashad, a little bit. You were cutting out.
You were caught in the matrix for just a second there.
It happens. Okay, I was talking about the personality test. Can you hear me? How about now? Okay. I was saying at the beginning, we were talking about the personality test, Myers-Briggs. I took those several years ago. I think they're fascinating. And I just wanted to wonder again, like, how do the candidates feel about it, and how's that data used to help them?
Well, so the Myers-Briggs and other assessment tools are used for the candidates to really understand more about themselves. So they know what kind of a work environment is going to be most suitable to them. An example would be, do I want to work for a high-tech company, or do I want to work for a nonprofit organization? And what would the work environment be like? So understanding that those personality tests are not being used as a screening tool, because sometimes they are by businesses, right? They'll ask a job search, a candidate to go through and take these different tests, and then they determine whether or not they want to bring them in. These tests are really for the job seeker to understand more about what are they bringing to the opportunities. So in the way of skills, their interests, and then their personality type. And those, by the way, all of those resources that I showed you on my plan, those are all available to you. Anybody who has internet access is welcome to take advantage of all of those all of those resources that we've posted on our website. So feel free to use them yourself, share them with employees, and anybody, in your networks. Feel free to do that. To become a NOVA job search candidate or member of the NOVA job search center, you do have to be at least 18 and you have to have the right to work. So, but in order to access the My Plan site, which you just access on our website, that's available to anybody. There's no screening requirement there.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll follow up with a question, Diana. So the best way for our small businesses to engage with you, Lelan, would be to go online to post jobs, or what do you recommend?
So you can definitely go onto the NOVAworks website and click on the job board. And at the bottom of the page, it'll ask you if you're an employer, and you are welcome to go ahead and post your jobs there for sure. But I would definitely reach out to me. Actually, I'll send you the, we have an email that goes to my business services team. So it's just business@novaworks.org. And if you want to just email that, any one of our business services team members, that would be Pat Richards, Rhonda Pryor, or myself, will see that, and then we will reach out to you to learn more about your opportunities, find out what you would like to do, and we'll go from there.
Great.
Any other questions or comments? Well, Lelan, I'm a fan. I think NOVAworks provides those who either have to re-engage into the workplace market, which is no fun having to look for a job, or tweak your skills, or learn a whole new computer system. And so this is kind of a nice safe place for people to kind of to do that, whether they've been working for 5 years or 20 years in the same place. It's never fun having to look for a new job, and so this kind of helps individuals. I've done entry-level jobs, and when you're job hopping, it's a little bit easier. When you're a little bit older, for some reason, even though you have more experience, it's tougher. So I always appreciate NOVAworks, and thank you so much for presenting today. Any questions or comments before we let Lelan go?
Yeah. Diana, I just want to make sure that the rest on this did not misunderstand my comments. I had the privilege of hosting Hillstone's managers for Los Altos Grill, and was absolutely shocked when I learned that their extensive training and the many things that Lelan has mentioned is part of what they do, the personality, all of the rest of that, but that those servers' average pay is $125,000 a year. Something I was stunned to learn. But I think it's really important that I have that discussion with Lelan, and she reach out to some of those major restaurants, because she could be serving them, because their base pay is minimum.
Absolutely. But that
not
is a
political.
Hustle.
Not
it
political.
Is a hustle to earn those tips. It's something I couldn't do today. If I had to earn a living off of tips, I couldn't do it. So I'm a nice person,
hear it, but it wasn't
I'm done after an hour.
It wasn't a political statement.
Understood, Abby. Understood. I know we have a great need in our community, especially with the restaurants right now, in filling, the demand. It's just everyone's short-staffed. So if there's any way that we can help bridge that gap, and to help solve the problem, that's why we're here, is to help facilitate that. So I hear you loud and clear, Abby. Thank you.
Thank you. Yep. Kim, any final announcements?
Just that, we're coming towards the official reopening on June the 15th. I've had conversations with Mission Trail for our next session in July. So just stay tuned on that. We can get some interesting updates from them as well. And I'll forward details to you by email.
Lelan, since you're our guest, any final words or comments?
I just want to say thank you for allowing me to be here. And Abby, I really appreciate your comments. I think a big part of what I was talking about is labor market intelligence. And so if there's information that we don't have, we want to fill that information gap. So and that's information that our job seekers need to have too. So I think it's great that there's the ability to connect with all of you to get that kind of information for our career advisors as well as to our job seeker community.
Thank you.
So this is great.
I'll make sure we get you connected.
Everyone,
Excellent.
enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll see you on, I think we're meeting next month, Kim, are we?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Bye.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a great
Thank you,
day.
everyone. Bye.
Bye.